Is everyone able to see my screen? Okay, great, great.
Mhm.
So, welcome this evening to all of our ladies who have been able to join up. Tonight, we're going to be discussing 3 secrets to landing a non-clinical physician role without wasting months searching, feeling like you're just throwing your application into a shredder, feeling like you're not making any progress. So, I want to give you 3 quick actionable tips. Let's go ahead and admit a couple more. I'm going to give you 3 quick actionable tips to hopefully get you started if you're just starting on your non-clinical career pivot. Is anyone here currently in their search? Anyone currently searching? Is there anybody? I know a couple of you have already made your pivot. All right, great, great. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to give you these 3 secrets, which will hopefully help you to move forward, at least boost confidence, and let you know that if you have decided to make a non-clinical career pivot, that it's possible. You can do it. The opportunity is there. You just maybe need a little help along the way. So, first and foremost, again, welcome. It has been wonderful meeting so many of the members of Beyond the Doctor's Lounge. And I'm so honored that I've even gotten the chance to speak with a lot of you on the phone and find out more about you, about your families, about what you're struggling and dealing with. So, welcome. I would like to acknowledge all of our lovely ladies who are with us here today. So I'm going to give you a round of applause. Thank you for joining up. Okay, so how to get the most from this webinar. It's going to help, I think, if you're on your desktop, if it's possible, it will help for you to open up LinkedIn on maybe a separate window, maybe split your screens, or maybe open up your LinkedIn app because I want this to be like a hands-on workshop, not a lecture. So I have a couple of activities. I'm not going to hold you all night. I know everyone's busy, but there are a couple of activities just to help you get started with optimizing your profile. And if possible, if you're able to, maybe while I'm talking and telling you a little bit about myself, maybe find one of your jobs that you're applying to or a job that would be your ideal job. I'm calling it IJD, your ideal job description. I just made that up a few seconds ago. So if you want to take a screenshot of your IJD, just to have it handy, just to inspire you, get you a little excited. And if you have it near, maybe your CV or resume, but that's not necessary. Obviously, we're not going to do a resume revision tonight, so don't stress if you don't have that on hand. Tonight, we're going to discuss 3 key shifts that you will need to make or that will help you along your journey to make your transition easier and more strategic. And in my opinion, it all begins with LinkedIn. I mean, nowadays in the current job market, with the technology as it is really important to be plugged in on LinkedIn. If you've seen any of my YouTube videos, you know how strongly I feel about that. If you've watched any of my interviews, you probably realize that LinkedIn played a key role in me finding opportunities that I didn't even know were out there. So that's another reason why I'm talking about LinkedIn today and why I'm wearing this blue shirt. Because I want to make sure that drive that home, that LinkedIn really is key. And most of you, I'm sure, are already active on LinkedIn. So again, once again, thank you to our pioneer members of Beyond the Doctor's Lounge. I can't believe it, but we're actually at 80 members. I mean, I think I opened up the doors to the group in October, but I didn't do anything with it until around the new year. And I would say over the last 2 weeks, yes, yes, bravo, Elisa's clapping. Over the last 2 weeks or so, we've really, really started growing. Things have really picked up momentum. So I really encourage you to get in the group. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of posting now to get things warmed up, but I love the fact that you all are starting to post about yourselves, starting to ask questions. And I know as we get more members, we're going to have more activities. That way you don't have to see my mug on the page. You can see your own face and your own questions and start to get to know each other and network. So thank you once again to my pioneer members being willing to get in there on the ground floor. And so these tips tonight are like my thank you to you. So as you all know, we had a little bonus for our first 3 members who signed up for the webinar. You will receive a free book, 50 Non-Clinical Careers for Physicians by Dr. Sylvie Stacy. This seems to be one of the most popular books for career pivots on Amazon. So I thought it would be a nice little thank you just for your support. And if you've already made your career pivot and you don't feel like you need any other tips, please feel free to pass this along to someone else, or just put it in your library for your future reference, or maybe to help friends and other people you know. So we will be reaching out to you all, Dr. Raga, Dr. Jeannie, and Dr. Teresa. Again, thank you so much for jumping in there, being the first 3 to get the registration started. And we'll be in touch and see how we can get these books to you. So congratulations and thank you. So I know that we've all had long days. We've all had a lot to do. And right now, we're actually going to invite in Dr. Jeannie Lawrence. Dr. Lawrence is my life coach. I've been working with her for over 2 years. One serendipitous day, I heard her talking on a physician lifestyle podcast. And I just knew right then I had to get in touch with her because I myself was burnt out. I was in a dark place, and just her warm voice and presence just drew me, and the rest is history. So one thing that Jeannie always starts her sessions out with when she's coaching us physicians is with a time of relaxation and deep breathing. So she was kind enough to offer to lead us through a little deep breathing and relaxation before we get into it. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Jeannie.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeannie. Thank you, Sandy, for doing this. This is such a cool event, and I just love how you are pouring into the physician community. Super cool. So you've already introduced me. I appreciate it. I'm Jeannie Lawrence. I'm a psychiatrist by training and a life coach for women physicians. And Sandy invited me to, hop in here at the beginning of session and just kind of do what I love to do at the beginning of every session. I know that we're all very busy women physicians. You're probably getting off work, or just got dinner on the table, or all the things that we're always doing. And I think it's always such a gift to ourselves to take a step back from doing and all the busyness of our lives to kind of think a little bit about our future, gather information that might help us now and in the future to kind of pivot more in the direction of something that we really desire. And so my way of making the transition from the busyness of life to a little bit of focused me time is to breathe, which is something that is just so accessible, doesn't require any training, any tools or anything like that, but is a really powerful way to pause, calm our nervous systems, and just honor what we're doing in this moment, which is taking a little bit of time for ourselves. So I am going to try to give some music here, Sandy. I don't know how the settings in Zoom are, if my sound is going to work or not. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But I'll hit play on the music that I typically use. And you guys can sound check and make sure you can hear me in the music. Can you hear that? Music, no.
No.
It might not be, it might be because I'm I'm not hosting this call. Yeah.
Let me see if I'm going to switch you. Let me see if I can switch you to the host.
Okay.
Because I would really, really love for you to be able to have your music. Let me just pull you up under participants, and I'm going to make you a host.
Okay, cool.
So we're gonna change.
Yeah, I got a message. I'm the host now. Okay. Can
Yes.
you hear the music now? Sure, I got it.
Not yet.
Okay. Share sound while participants are screen sharing. Okay. So I think it's that you're screen sharing and then I'm audio sharing, so we can't do both. If you would
Okay.
unshare your screen for a moment, yeah.
Yes.
You hear me and the music at the same time. The music will be soft because there's a little bit of tug of war with Zoom and audio. But if you can hear me, I'm just going to invite everybody wherever you are, except if you're driving, to sit up straight and comfortably, right? Put your feet on the floor if that feels good for you. Move and stretch a little bit before we even get started. I know it's been a long day, and once you're ready, go ahead and your hand over your heart. Just an extra point of contact, I believe, like with ourselves, the grounding move. When I have on the right shirt, I like to even do skin to skin because it kind of encourages that release of oxytocin and increases the sense that I'm taking a little bit of time for myself and kind of giving myself a hug in this moment. When you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Slow exhale through your mouth. And deep breath in through your nose. Next inhale, just feel yourself starting to settle in. Slow exhale, come through your mouth. Another deep breath in through your nose. Connecting now with yourself, the present moment, with your breath. With your exhale, just allowing yourself to release all the other parts of the day, everything else is not the present. In through your nose, I'm drawing your attention to your breath, the way it feels as you hold it. You maintain that awareness of your breath as you exhale. Another mindful breath like that in through your nose. Exhale, releasing all fear out of your nose to your mouth. Continue to breathe in this way, drawing your attention to your breath as best you can. If your thoughts start to wander, that's okay. Gently redirect them back to your your nose, through your mouth. Last breath together, through your nose. Exhale, out through your mouth. When you're feeling ready, come on back by gently opening your eyes.
Thank you so much, Jeannie. That was lovely.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You may have to switch host back to me. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again. Okay, I am the host now. Okay, great. Well, I don't know about you ladies, but I definitely feel a shift in my state. I feel more relaxed. I have more of a calm energy, and I hope it's the same for you. Thank you so much, Dr. Jeannie Lawrence, wonderful physician life coach, leader of the Sanctuary for Women Physicians. And Jeannie, before I move on, I didn't get to update the slide, but can you please tell the lady and drop in the chat your website? Okay, great, great. Thank you. All right, so now that we're all settled in, how was that for you all? I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm really not able to see the chat, but go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. Yes, Raga, I see your heart. Yes, I'm so glad that was good. That was relaxing. Thank you again, Dr. Jeannie. So you may be asking yourself, why this webinar? Why now? Why Beyond the Doctor's Lounge? Actually, I'm going to tell you in a few seconds my own story, but right now I want to focus on the world of physicians. 50%, according to this source, 50% of doctors say that they take a non-clinical role if they could, but they do struggle to make the transition. We all know that physician burnout is a huge issue. Dr. Jeannie Lawrence is a wonderful burnout coach. We also have Dr. Lisa Rubiano, who's a physician coach. It's amazing that women in medicine are burning out at an even higher rate than men, at approximately 42%. And I would imagine that's even higher. Dr. Jeannie, you might have know of some different statistics, but I would suspect that that rate is even higher. And while I was on LinkedIn myself after my transition, I started seeing other physicians speaking out and posting about burnout, even physician suicide, and just these signs of distress. And we all know that being a doctor is a wonderful, wonderful calling, a wonderful profession, but many of us have, for different reasons, decided to look elsewhere. And now that I've made my own transition, it's just really been in my heart to reach out and pay it forward and reach out to other women who are considering or in the middle of, or even who have completed their non-clinical career transition, whether in whole or in part. All right, so bear with me for a second. I am going to attempt to do my very first poll. Okay. Are you all able to see this poll? Okay, great, great. I've never done a poll before during a Zoom. So I would just want to get a feel for where everyone is as far as their stage and their career pivot. Where are you in your career pivot? Are you contemplating but not too sure yet? Still weighing your options, maybe thinking about a hybrid type of career transition or just not sure yet? Are you planning to pivot but you have not yet taken any big steps? Have you started the preliminary steps? Maybe you've updated your CV. Maybe you've already converted your CV to a resume. Maybe you've updated your LinkedIn already. Are you in the process of applying? You've already submitted applications. Maybe you have some interviews under your belt or some prospects. Are you already weighing job offers or enjoying your non-clinical life, whatever that looks like for you? So I'm going to give you all a couple more seconds. Looks like we already have 6 of the 9 participants here who have responded. So don't be shy. It doesn't have your name on it or anything. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the results. Okay, are you all able to see the results? Okay, great, great. So 67% of you are either weighing job offers or have already pivoted and you're enjoying your non-clinical life. 17% of you have started the preliminary steps, updated your LinkedIn and your resume, and another 17% are not sure yet and they're contemplating. So thank you very much for participating. Thank you for your answers. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing that. And are you still able to see the slide presentation? Jeannie, you're kind of my, okay, great, great. So let me change. Okay, so great. Thank you all so much for participating in that poll. So I'm not going to take long. This is not about me, but fact of the matter is a lot of you probably don't know too much of my story. I haven't shared a lot of my story yet. So I just want to tell you just a little bit about myself quickly, and then we're going to go ahead and get on into the thick of things. As you know, my name is Dr. Sandy Coleman. I'm a board certified internal medicine doctor. I was a hospitalist for 13 years, or just a few months shy of that. And now I had transitioned to my non-clinical career. I'm currently a principal investigator at a contract research organization. And I can tell you all later more about what that is. I didn't even really know what it was until the opportunity came my way. And I am also in that capacity a medical director. So there are 3 physicians at our site, or we're in a little transition now, but 3 physicians, and we're all medical directors, and one is a senior medical director. So that's what's on my resume and on my CV. However, there's a lot more to the story. Like you, there's a lot more than just my CV and my LinkedIn picture and profile. Me then. A few years ago, as I approached mid-career, I found myself in the position of being burned out. I took my patient care very seriously. I took my relationship with my patients incredibly seriously. I gave and gave and gave, but over time it kind of wore down on me. The schedule as a hospitalist, as many of you do know, it does include swing shifts, sometimes nights, long days where you kind of feel trapped and sequestered in the hospital. Even though we had a round and go model over several years, it just got harder to round and harder to go as our patients got sicker and our institution expanded. I noticed that patients were angrier, staff was exhausted, especially after, the turning point in medicine 2020. My health was out of control. I was gaining weight just by looking at food. I would put on 5 pounds just by looking at food, it felt. Energy was extremely low. I was overwhelmed with no room to breathe, not just from my job, but we're all whole people. We have our occupations, we have family obligations. My father fell ill, and I just found myself with a lot on my plate and just less bandwidth to be able to keep up the intensity and the pace that I had to keep up as a hospitalist. I have to say, again, I will share that thankfully one day I heard Dr. Jeannie's lovely voice on a podcast, got in touch with her, got plugged into coaching. And after a couple of years of coaching and healing, here I am now. I am reaching out to other women physicians to help them. I'm stronger in my faith, 30 pounds lighter, learning new skills. I've learned how to publish on Amazon. I've done a whole lot of little things, learning, kind of dabbling in design, all kinds of things. My better schedule allows me for more time and also more bandwidth, because as a hospitalist, I had time. I mean, the time was there, but the energy to enjoy that time as the years went by got to be less and less. And so as a physician, I still want to help other women. I still want to help people. So I recently started Beyond the Doctor's Lounge, and it really gives me a way to still feel like I'm directly helping people, my colleagues and women who are where I was a few years ago, or who are healing themselves, or who have already pivoted for whatever reason they pivoted for and are enjoying their best life. I would like to bring us all together and have us just enjoy each other, network, and learn together. So I had to mention here, I had to give a shout out to my lunch ladies, Dr. Lisa Rubiano and Dr. Rashida Blake. They were really key in my support network while I was going through my healing journey. We called ourselves the Lunch Ladies. We were originally the Lunch Bunch, but our male member moved to the West Coast. So we called ourselves the Lunch Ladies, and we would gather for lunch, and we just became close friends. Also, I got here through life coaching. I've already shouted out Jeannie, my faith community, and just time and space to heal from burnout. Honestly, I still feel like I'm on that healing road. So today we're going to discuss how to come up with your plan if you should choose to make a non-clinical career pivot. We're going to talk to you about your plan. And if you'll give me 1 second, I've lost my Zoom window and I do want to be able to see you all. Let's see how I don't know why I'm not able to see both. And I miss you all. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. So what you're going to learn today, we're going to focus on basically 3 points. I'm not going to overwhelm you with information. I'm going to try to kind of give you 3 points, 3 things that you can do, 3 action points you can maybe even start during this workshop. I want you to look at it more as a workshop. We're going to be working together. Even if you've already pivoted, LinkedIn is still important because, hey, one never knows when you'll be making another pivot or want to explore your options. I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. Okay, so what we'll learn today, we're going to learn how to shift our perspective from being a job seeker to an opportunity magnet. And I think that this is so important because positioning yourself to be in the community, getting in the parade, as I heard someone say on John Jerica's Non-Clinical podcast, is so important. And by being seen and getting in the parade, this will help to attract opportunity. And those who have optimized their LinkedIn profiles can probably tell you how true this is. You'll find people coming into your inbox, and that's what I want for you all. I want to share with you a LinkedIn strategy that gets you noticed without having to cold apply to 100 jobs. Doesn't mean you won't cold apply, but I just want that to be a small part of your strategy. And we're going to also talk about how to tap into the hidden job market and network, because as we all know, in our current jobs, there's always positions that you might know of because you're at the company, but may not be on LinkedIn yet, or maybe it's just on LinkedIn, because they have to publish it, but it's really an inside thing. So, that's only, I think, a small portion of the job market, but we definitely want to figure out how to network and how to make ourselves known and how to show our gifts and get ready to bring them to another part of the world, the career world. Again, we're going to stop job hunting. We're going to start job attracting. This is going to still take time. I mean, for me, my first kind of job offer that was attracted to me ended up being the one that I took. But at the same time, the whole process did not happen overnight because I was on LinkedIn probably for about 5 or 6 months. Not really actively, but for about 5 to 6 months before that opportunity opened up. So your LinkedIn presence is your new resume. Your LinkedIn profile, I would really love for all of us, whether we pivoted or not, to treat this like our career landing page. And that goes even for the entrepreneurs that we have here. This is, your first landing page with some of your ideal clients. So it's really important. And we're not going to revamp our whole LinkedIn page today. That would be more like a 3 or 4 hour thing. Maybe we'll do that one day. But I just want you to have that mindset shift to realize that your LinkedIn presence, it's really important. It's going to, if your LinkedIn page is crafted right, it can really draw people to you. And I'm going to give you other strategies to draw people to you. So what we want to do is attract the attention of hiring managers. We want to attract them to your profile. There are 3 key things that will attract hiring managers and recruiters to your profile. Your headline, and I have to admit, I didn't really know much about the headline until recently. So imagine if I had known about this hack, I probably would have had even more opportunities along the way. Your about section, I think we all understand that the about section is important, and your experience. So, I'm sure we all knew about the about section and experience, but I definitely want to draw your attention to the headline. So let's talk about optimizing your headline. Your LinkedIn headline needs to tell hiring managers what you bring to the table, not just your credentials. Like, my headline for the longest was, board certified internist, so in practice this many years. And it was enough. It was enough to attract the right recruiter and the right opportunity. But we can really optimize it by not only, telling the world what we do, that is important, but also you want to include a little bit about what you're going to bring to the table. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a couple of slides. We want to optimize our about section. We're not going to really do anything with that during this workshop, but I just want to bring up to you that this about section is really important to recruiters. I know this because I've been lurking around their LinkedIn pages and finding out what they're looking for. And they have all said that when they read your about page, they're looking for keywords related to the positions that they're trying to fill. And that's one reason why I wanted you to pull up your IJD. For all of those who just joined us, and thank you for joining, your IJD is something I just came up with about 10 minutes ago, and it's your ideal job description. So I want you to pay attention, to that ideal job description and even put it into ChatGPT and pull out some keywords and some key skills and start peppering those all throughout your LinkedIn page, but especially your about section. This example here, basically it is great, it sounds good, but it doesn't really tell recruiters or hiring managers how you can help them. And you have to also remember that the recruiters and hiring managers, they're lay people. They may not be able to read your profile and translate it into non-clinical skills. So you need to make that easy for them. The other thing that I actually read on a post from a pharma recruiter is that you want to tell your career story. And I definitely think this is something I would love to go further into and actually craft my own career story for my LinkedIn. You want to describe who you are, what you do, your unique transferable skills, and how you can help your target industry. How would you contribute to the team? They don't expect you to already, unless you're going for a senior position, they don't expect you to already know everything there is about pharma. They want physicians and they need physicians in certain positions. But you just kind of need to make it easy for non-physicians to look at your profile and your CV or your resume and see how you can fulfill the roles that they're looking for. So, for instance, here's an example. Maybe before a doctor's headline might read, experienced internal medicine physician with a passion for patient care. This was probably my headline. It sounded a lot like it. After, you still want to keep it simple, but consider putting something like from physician to clinical research leader, bridging patient care and drug development. And then also, if you're interested in a certain field, maybe write that in there, pharmacovigilance, medical director. So you want to draw people to your to this area, to your headline, because later on we're going to talk about interacting on LinkedIn. Every time you interact, this is basically going to be like your business card. This is what people are going to see when you comment on LinkedIn. They're going to see your picture and part of your headline. So make sure you make it interesting and compelling for people to come check you out. So I stumbled and I put a post in the LinkedIn or in the Facebook group. I stumbled on this pharma recruiter. And this is a quote from a post on LinkedIn. And she's kind of giving us a lot of insight into what hiring managers and recruiters really think when they look at our LinkedIn profiles. Again, they're looking at your headline. Be creative with that. Make sure you're spelling out who you are, what you bring to the table in a few words. Your activity, they're actually looking to see, apparently, they're looking to see if you're actually engaging and what kind of things you're posting. So depending on your LinkedIn settings, your activity might be put on your LinkedIn profile. And that's not a bad thing, just something to be aware of. So you want to definitely engage and showcase, that your interest in the field. And then that's going to actually be put on your LinkedIn profile page. And when people come to your page, they will see what you've been doing. So use this to your advantage. And of course, your summary. So we already talked about this being the ultimate landing page, but one thing I did want to highlight is that I feel as a physician, it's easy to stand out in the crowd because LinkedIn for physicians is still what I would consider a blue ocean. Some of you might be familiar with the Blue Ocean strategy book. And it talks about basically a blue ocean is an ocean that doesn't have a lot of sharks, it's not a feeding frenzy, it's nice and clear. And I feel like though there are physicians on LinkedIn and they're applying, a lot of them are not really engaging in the platform. And so many physicians who are job hunting don't even have their profiles public. If you go to Google them, they have the spooky little silhouette. So definitely make sure you have a picture up and make sure it's visible, at least to some degree, because you just never know who's looking for you. Get in the parade, like I said before, don't be shy, get in the parade. So we're going to take 2 minutes, about 2 minutes to do a little exercise. I want you to write, if you haven't already, write a concise headline following this model or something like it, adapt it to what suits you. Who are you? You know, board certified OBGYN doctor, you know, psychiatrist, internist, you know, who are you? Your background slash transition story. Maybe if you've already transitioned or if you have an interesting background, like I've talked to doctors who also have degrees in statistics, you know, you can say internist turned biostatistician. And then basically what you're going to bring to industry, how you can help a team that's looking for help, looking for someone to hire. And then a call, if you want a call to action, maybe if you're between jobs and you're a little more free, perhaps you can say, you know, open to contact or open to speaking. But, you know, if you're kind of doing this under the radar, you probably wouldn't want to put a call to action. They can read between the lines. So I think it's already been about 1 minute. If you're done, just raise your hand. I can't see the chat, but just raise your hand so that I know that you're done. Great. Dr. Jeannie's done. If you just press the hand raise button, then I'll be able to see that. Next time I'm gonna ask Gina to teach me how to do the music so I can have some music in the background next time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move forward, but you know, if you're still working on that, go ahead and continue working on it. This is always gonna be a work in progress. Okay, so that was our first activity. Excellent job, everyone. And I think while everyone is kind of wrapping up, let's do another, well, maybe we shouldn't do a poll now because some people might still be writing, so we'll do a poll later. Okay, so number 2, we're going to discuss the LinkedIn strategy that gets you noticed without having to apply to 100 jobs just cold. You can apply to 100 jobs, you can apply to 100 cold jobs, but let's definitely try to increase our odds as much as possible of getting that call back and that email that for an interview. So before I talked about engaging on LinkedIn. With the LinkedIn algorithm, engaging really, oh, it's just amazing. All you have to do is put up one comment and you might be surprised at the people who come flooding into your profile. Find industry leaders, you know, look for people who are in your field. Use the LinkedIn search bar. You can also do a Boolean search, I believe it's called, trying to remember from my elementary school library days. Go ahead and use that search function. Find people who are thought leaders or people who have already pivoted into the area that you're interested in, who are active on LinkedIn, because not everybody is, but there are a lot of people who are. So find those people and start commenting. Don't just don't be shy. I'm very shy. I'm very introverted, but we got to step out of our shell here. It's easy to stand out as a physician in LinkedIn because we just don't use LinkedIn. So go ahead and comment. Yes, leave your thumbs up, but write something. And this is going to make you visible. LinkedIn will really reward you when you participate on the platform. And also another strategy is start following people, start liking comments, even if start liking posts, even if you're not going to comment, because this is going to help to curate your LinkedIn feed. That way you are naturally attracting the kind of people that the LinkedIn algorithm is learning that you like to follow and that you like to engage in their content. So you definitely want to start talking, just like on YouTube. Personally, I'm a big YouTube person. And you have to be so careful about what you like, because the next thing you know, you start getting a whole lot of silly cat videos or whatever the case may be. But in this case, we want to use that interaction with LinkedIn as a benefit to curate your LinkedIn feed and make you more visible, but also make the right kind of people more visible to you. So example, some people use AI as a shortcut. If you're at work, you could, you definitely want to edit anything that you post. If you're making a comment, you're going to want to edit it, but you can use AI. You can always cut and paste the post into your Chat GPT or whatever your AI of choice, Claude, Gemini. Let it know what you're doing, feed it in the right prompt, see what it kicks out, ask it to be concise because you don't want to go on and on. But if this helps you out, whatever lowers the resistance to you getting engaged, just get in the parade, be seen. And from recruiters, lots of recruiters that I have been listening to and taking in their comments, they say, or taking in their content, they say that this really does get you noticed by them. Remember, a recruiter's job is to bring good candidates, to their company or to their clients. So this is a good way to show them that you are that right candidate. And don't forget to get out of your comfort zone. It's okay. So if you're working for someone and you want to be a little more stealthy, there are other methods that you can follow. But one thing you can also do if you want to be more stealthy but still engage, go to your settings in your LinkedIn and turn off the setting that will post your activity to your profile. So if you're trying to do this quietly and you want to make sure no one's snooping around your profile and sees what you're doing, there's still a way that you can engage without sending up red flags. So definitely look into your LinkedIn settings. If you are concerned about being too visible, go ahead and change those settings around so that you're not as visible. But remember, at the same time, nothing venture, nothing gain, but there are ways to be more discreet. I wanted to give you all an example of a post that I engaged in. That same farmer recruiter that I was talking about before, I just left a very, very simple comment. I really was blown away by her post. I just left a simple comment. Next thing I know, I had people sending me connection requests and people in the field and pharma. So I was really shocked. And I was like, oh, wow, I knew it worked, but it really reinforced the fact that this is a good method. And maybe recruiters are even looking at these comment sections, looking for the right people. I definitely got at least about 3 or 4 connection requests just based on that activity. And so that was kind of surprising. And look, I didn't say anything earth shattering or anything too deep, to be honest. It was my sincere gut reaction. So just get in there, be yourself, be authentic, and just nothing venture, nothing gain. So let's do a mini exercise. For those of you who are in a place where you can pull up LinkedIn, I don't want you to do it if you're driving or putting the kids to bed, but if you're sitting and you're able to, go ahead, head to LinkedIn and find a thought leader in your desired field. So for instance, if you are interested in pharmacovigilance, maybe put in the search quote, pharmacovigilance, and the and, quote, physician. That's one way you can search. So just find anyone, or even just practice searching. Find anyone in the field, a physician who's pivoted, or maybe a higher up in the company, or a recruiter, or what have you. This is an important skill to have. And okay, you may not want to comment right this second, but I say you should go for it. But even if you don't decide to comment, maybe think about what you would say. What would you say in response? I'll give you all a few minutes. And I'll sing for you since I don't have any music. No, I'm teasing. Uh, I'll definitely have music next time.
Sandy, is it okay to ask a question?
Absolutely, yes, please.
Mhm.
And I'm not able to see who's speaking, so can you let
Oh,
me
sure.
know your
Yes,
first name?
this is Amy Patel.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. Okay, so I'm on LinkedIn and you said, like, for example, let's say I'm interested in medical education. So
Mhm.
I would put in quotes medical education and then in quotes physician.
Yes.
And I see a bunch of things pop up, but should I select posts? Because the point is to
You
comment on posts.
Right. You could select either. If when you have more time, select both. If you hit people, it's going to show you people who
Mm,
hopefully
okay.
fit that description. If you hit post, that might be a quicker way to just find a post really quick for this exercise. But typically,
Hmm.
you're going to want to do both, or even companies that come up and seeing what they have.
Sure.
I don't really post under companies too much because I feel like,
Hmm.
well, see that. I like to reach out to actual people. So you can look under post or people. Just for this exercise, whichever one seems to be a better hit for now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great question. I love the interaction. Oh, I love my sister docs. You all are the best. Also, don't feel shy about sending connection requests. Remember that LinkedIn is a networking platform, and I have found people to be very, very open. I was actually shocked to see that my connections over the last few months have gone from, I think, like the low 200s to 400 and something today when I was just logging in. I was really shocked. That's incoming connections and a lot of connection requests that I send out. So don't be shy. People are on there to network. And you being a doctor does give you a little extra status, maybe, and people are more likely to accept that connection request. So go for it. Use the advantages that you have in life. All right. If any of you are done, if you can type in the chat, done.
Hi, Sandy, it's Rashida.
Hi, Rashida.
Hi, I just wanted to say really great and informative meeting. And I wanted to add in a little
Yes.
piece of advice that another physician colleague who left clinical medicine recommended regarding LinkedIn. I
Please
was
do.
very concerned about putting my availability, like making that setting, changing my setting from never available to available. However, if you're just opening up your LinkedIn profile, if you're just making one, this colleague recommended leaving it on all the time so that even if you're not looking for a job right now, it shows that you're casually always open to it. So in case you decided to leave immediately, like a year from now, it doesn't look like you've made a change. It just looks like it's chronically available, that you're always available, always looking for a position, and there's not really a change um, in your status when you're on LinkedIn. Do you know what I'm talking about? That application, that job application, is like you're always looking for a position. When you
Mhm.
leave it open, it doesn't look like there's a huge change when you do decide to make a change and you're actually actively looking. So just keep it on all the time. And that way, again, when it's time to go, it's always open. And then you're always getting recruiters and people offering you positions. You get a lot of activity just by having that thing casually on.
Wow. Thank you so much, Rashida. I really appreciate that tip. You're right. Yeah, because if you're gonna pivot, like just keep it on, just have it on. And if you're super shy about it, there's a way to make it visible to recruiters only, which doesn't make the risk of someone seeing it zero. But like Dr. Rashida said, if you turn it on, then hey, nothing's changed. They don't know what you're doing. So plus, if they're on LinkedIn, they're probably looking too. Think about it that way. Thank you so much, Dr. Rashida. And if any of you have any tips or questions, please just pipe in. I am so happy. You all really have me hyped up. All right, so if you're working on this exercise, continue. We're going to go ahead and move on, but please do continue. And I'm definitely going to get you all a handout to make this a little easier. Okay, so number 3, the hidden job market is real. Well, yeah, it's real, but we know how to get behind the curtain. We know how to find the wizard. We know how to search around and look behind the curtain. Many non-clinical jobs are filled through networking, not applications. Or maybe you submit your application after networking. So, it's really key. For instance, if you watched some of my YouTube videos, I have shared something about my pivot story. I was home and I had injured my back. I was on medical leave. I was on LinkedIn for a while, but not participating. So the fact that I was home on medical leave, I was able to sit down, discover the platform, and I saw Dr. Sweha Patel had a change in her LinkedIn status, and there was some automated message that said, congratulate Sweha on changing her job, now works at Quotient Sciences. And I'm like, Quotient Sciences, what is this? So I reached out to her just sitting on my couch on a heating pad, and I was like, Sweha, what are you doing? What is Quotient Sciences? Are you somewhere looking in a microscope? And so we started an exchange back and forth. We were chatting. And that was right as I was really nearing the date, my goal date for submitting my notice at work. And next thing I knew, I don't know if this is related or coincidence, next thing I knew, there was a recruiter in my inbox asking me if I was interested in this position at Quotient Sciences. And that's where I am now. The rest is history. So you just never know. Just get on there, be yourself, start talking to people, be confident, and just be your real self. So yeah, we're not going to be intimidated by any hidden job market. So who to network with? People already in the industry, in the positions that you're interested in. Also people who might be maybe a level above where you want to go, because those might be the hidden hiring managers. For instance, I didn't know that Sweha had been promoted to senior medical director. So you never know who is actually directly involved as far as our physician colleagues in the hiring process. And so go ahead and reach out to them, find people in the industry. Sure, you can reach out to recruiters in the company, but I think you should just do both. Recruiters, hiring managers, colleagues, people who have already pivoted, especially people who have recently pivoted, because they're still so excited and on fire. And they are probably, most of them will be happy to give you some tips and talk with you. So don't be shy, realize your value. I know in medicine, sometimes we are devalued, but you'll find in your non-clinical pivot that the outside of maybe what we know in clinical medicine, we can actually be quite highly esteemed. Oh, thank you, Zoya. Oh my gosh, your comments, I haven't been able to read them, but oh wow, you all are so wonderful. So, go ahead, feel good about yourself. I can remember as I was working with Dr. Jeannie and coming out of my burnout, I remember hearing a podcast by Dr. Una on treating your career like a business. And it just really like taking ownership, being the CEO of your career. I think it was something like that. And it just, that plus my coaching, and it all just helped me with that mindset shift to realize, hey, my degree, my license, it doesn't belong to the hospital. It belongs to me, especially for me, because I went straight from residency into this job. So it kind of felt like residency part B. And I realized, hey, this MD, yes, I am utilizing it in this capacity and I'm being compensated for that, but it's mine to take and use in whatever way I do or don't want to. So be empowered to know that. Okay, Andrea, thank you. The replay will be up, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up because I know you all have other things to do. All right, let's get on with this. So we talked before about smart LinkedIn networking. So don't forget the DMs. They're very important on LinkedIn. There is a limit on how many messages you can send, I believe, and how many connection requests. So I don't have that information in this slide, but pretty sure you're probably not going to exceed that limit. I think it's pretty high. So even if you're sending out several connection requests a day, I think you won't, raise any flags or hit your limit. And as far as the messages, I'll try to get that information for you all, but there is a limit, but just send those connection requests. When people approve you, go ahead and start the conversation. This is a good way also to make connections if you want to be discreet and if you're concerned about attracting attention. And here's a little 3-step script for you. You make it your own. When you connect with them, as I connected with many of you, this is similar to how I connected with many of you on this call. Introduce yourself, look at their profile, see something about them, something you have in common with them, and just connect, just be yourself, be sincere. And you just be surprised. If anything, you could make a good online friend, at the very least. So you can approach people and ask to hop on calls with them. I've had physicians who see my profile ask to talk to me, and I'm more than happy to talk to them, of course, just like I would if I ran into you in the doctor's lounge. I'm more than happy, and especially to help other people making that pivot. Okay, so our last mini exercise. Write down one person you should reach out to on LinkedIn this week. So if you know someone who's pivoted, or who's already shifted, and I believe one of my colleagues here on the call did this during her pivot planning, go ahead and reach out to that person. Or if you go on LinkedIn and you find out, just like when I found out that Dr. Sweha had pivoted, go ahead and reach out to them. So is there someone you already know who's left your practice for other pastures, who's maybe left the hospital or what have you? If you don't know someone, then find someone at a company that interests you or a couple of someone's. And my challenge to you is maybe not right now, it's up to you, DM one person tonight. If you are in the midst of your career pivot, DM at least one person. Just do it. Just do it. And maybe three people. And just do keep in mind, some people are not active on LinkedIn. So try to get a feel for whether or not there's any activity on their profile. But even people who don't seem to be active might still be lurking. So pick 2 or 3 people, send some DMs today, go to bed, follow up on them tomorrow. And a lot of people are on LinkedIn during the weekend, believe it or not. Don't be afraid. You have so much to bring to the table. Okay, so ready, set, go. These 3 tips and exercises hopefully will be enough to get you started on your non-clinical career pivot. Get some eyes on your profile and start attracting attention. Dr. Rashida has shared some of the things that she's done and the advice that she's gotten to attract attention. It's fine to put out cold applications, but let that only be one of your strategies to making this pivot. The most effective strategy really is going to be to combine the applications with connecting. When you pull up an application, maybe that application will have the recruiter or hiring manager, or maybe you can go find that company, pull up that company, go under the people tab and look at people who work there, or use that search tips that I gave you and find people. Just try to make a pact with yourself that for every job you apply to, you're going to connect with at least one person. Just make that a habit. Okay, so thank you all so much. Some of you have already asked questions. Are there any other questions for me? Don't be shy. Oh, okay. Amy, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hi, Sandy.
Hop in.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thanks for having this evening. It's been really very valuable.
Wonderful.
I just wanted to offer a suggestion for the group, if that's okay.
Of course.
Yeah, is in terms of the networking aspect, I've been able to network with fellow alumni from my different institutions. And that's been a great way, a little less awkward sometimes than a kind of a cold networking reach, and a good starting point for a conversation. And then they've gone on to connect me with their network, where I've been able to connect with other people in the industry or recruiters or whatnot. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's an excellent tip. Thank you so much, Amy. And also to add to that, many times, and I don't know if this is just a feature of LinkedIn Premium. I'm not sure. I do have LinkedIn Premium. Maybe someone can tell me if this is the case if without it. But when you pull up that job that you're applying to, usually it'll show you if there are any alumni from your school who you can connect with. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's just on Premium or on. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I have premium, so I know it is on premium. I'm not sure if it's on
Yes.
the basic or not. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
true too, and that's helpful.
Yeah, that's a great, thank you so much, Amy. Do we have any other career pivot veterans who have any tips to share? Open forum. This is our webinar, our group. All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I did want to just let you all know that because I've enjoyed so much speaking with you ladies and finding out your stories, I want to offer to you a Career Pivot Accelerator program. So if you're interested in this, I'll definitely post the Calendly link within the group. So I'm going to offer one-on-one coaching and guidance and consulting, walking you through this process, coaching you through it, accountability, and group support in a smaller, more intimate setting with other like-minded ladies. Help with your resume. I've actually partnered up with someone who's going to actually do a done-for-you resume, CV to resume conversion and LinkedIn optimization. So I think that we're a wonderful group of women. If anyone is interested in working with me, I'll put the Calendly link up in the group. We already went through Q&A. Any questions? Anybody thought of a question in the meantime? And additional resources, we have the Beyond the Doctor's Lounge Facebook group, small but mighty. I really think that it's just awesome. So keep posting, keep asking your questions, and as we grow, we'll be able to network more and more. There's also a YouTube channel. If you're a woman who has a story to tell and you want to share it on YouTube and within our group, let me know. Message me on LinkedIn or Facebook, and I'll get you on. I'll interview you. I've done a couple of interviews with Dr. Jeannie, our physician life coach, also with Dr. Sweha Patel, who I spoke of earlier. I have one coming up with Dr. Bertina Hooks, another physician who has pivoted, and Dr. Lisa Rubiano. So, definitely let me know. Let me know. Reach out to me, and we'll get you on the show. And I mean, don't worry, don't be shy. It's a very small audience right now. And then, of course, don't forget your AI tools, ChatGPT, Claude AI, Google Gemini. And I have also prepared an AI guide for extracting your non-clinical skills from your clinical job. So I gave you some handy prompts to just get you started using AI. Why not? Because why not? It's not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, who knows where it's going. So we might even have to practice medicine according to AI. I don't know, but we might as well use it for our advantage. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. I also want to acknowledge the other physicians who are in this group, the coaches, Dr. Jeannie Lawrence, she put her link in. There's Dr. Lisa Rubiano. If you need lifestyle coaching, Dr. Rubiano, you can put your link in. There's a lot of resources here. I'm just going to check the chat. Any final questions as we get ready to move on? Well, thank you all so much for participating. This will be posted, the replay will be posted in the group, and we'll go from there. So thank you all so much. Have a wonderful evening. I see we have one new message. Yes, you can see that link for Dr. Lisa Rubiano. Don't forget Dr. Jeannie Lawrence's link. And I'll put my link in the Facebook group. I was kind of unprepared. So take care, ladies. Have a great evening. Don't forget self-care. Refill your cup. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay.